Now, another new study regarding people's finances that just came out of England is showing that more and more couples, people in relationships, are resorting to secret spending and not telling their partners about the money that they're spending. And obviously, you can see why that might be problematic for a whole host of different reasons. More than half of adults in relationships over there spent in secret on a range of products. As far as dollar amounts, men are a lot more guilty than women. Men spent on average about 2,500 British pounds without their partner's knowledge in the past year, and women spent about 1,760 British pounds without their partner's knowledge. And the most common secret purchase for both men and women was clothing. And for women, beauty products were the next most common secret purchase. And men's most secret purchases after clothing were things like cigarettes and alcohol. Men said that they're also more likely to use their cash for gambling or to send gifts to friends and family without telling their partners. And I'm sure a lot of those same dynamics are playing out over here in the US as well. And it turns out the younger generations are a bunch of little liars, guys. Take a look at this. Gen Z, which are people born between 1997 and 2012, are more secretive than the older generations by quite a wide margin. Over there, they spent 4,300 British pounds in the past year without their partner's knowledge. And meanwhile, people who are 55 and older only spent about 384 British pounds in secret over that same time period. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, what's the psychology around this? Like, why do people hide things from their partner like that, especially if it's something harmless? It's not like you're cheating or having an affair or have some kind of double life, right? You're just spending a little bit of extra money. Why does it have to be such a big secret? Well, I don't know, because I've never been through that in a relationship before, hiding stupid little things like that. But my guess would be is that when people get into relationships these days, especially younger ones, they're posturing. They pretend that they're doing better financially than they really are, and they put on a front to make it look like to their partner that they're very well off, more well off than they really are. And so they need to spend this money in secret so that way the truth doesn't come out. And this can be problematic not only because one person's essentially omitting information from the other, kind of lying to the other person. But if you're a couple who's, trying to budget to buy a house or building an emergency fund or saving for retirement together, things like that, well, that can be problematic if one person isn't being transparent about how much money they're actually spending and where it's all going. And don't forget, money is actually the number one reason that people split up. That's the number one reason for divorce, even beyond infidelity. And so lying about money and not being honest with the other person up front does have some ramifications for people. And it's not like you have to report to the other person every time you buy a coffee or every time you want to get your nails done. But major purchases, if you're sharing your finances and splitting your finances, should be disclosed and agreed upon ahead of time. Like my wife and I, how we handle it is we've always had our own separate money, right? But at the same time, it's our money. If one person needs more assistance than the other, we have no problem providing that to the other person, right? But I don't need to ask her permission if I want to buy a brand new guitar or if I want to spend 500 or 600 bucks on something. I don't need to ask her about it or even tell her that I'm going to do it because it's my money. The same thing goes for her. If she wants to buy something that costs a lot of money, she does it. I don't have anything to say about it. She earned the money. I don't care. So if you want to be able to spend money without the other person criticizing or worrying about what you're spending it on, then being upfront and open about your financial situation from the beginning of your relationship and coming to that agreement early on is going to save you worlds of headaches later on. And the other thing is, people hide things that they think the other person won't approve of. So deep down, people who are hiding stuff like this probably know that, hey, my partner's probably not going to be happy with this purchase, so therefore I better not tell them about it.